my family was into greener pastures.
Yeah.
So grandma moved from Watts to Compton because there was a better life. Real
Is-
talk.
Is it?
Wow.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Watts riot, never heard of the Compton riots back in the
Hilarious,
60s. So,
yeah.
and so she moved for that and then raised my mother and family there. And then my mother, when she was of age, moved us to South Central
Yep.
for
Once
a better
again,
life.
upgrade.
Upgrade, right?
And then, man.
Everything hit the fan. So
And then you moved to North Korea.
yeah, right.
For a better life.
Well, Bogota in between, but yeah, we went there too.
Wait, now Brad and I both went to
Holy
SC, and him from Orange County, me from Seattle, and the first thing that like a lot of people were saying to me was like, "Oh, SC, huh? So you're gonna live in Watts?" And I was like, "I think it's close. It's not in it." And also, I'm like, "Is it that?"
Right.
But like, and look, my senior apartment was in like a kind of like
Most
a
of
little
the-
for sure.
Yeah.
Our first night, my buddies and I were sitting on the patio smoking blunts, and we're just like, man, senior year. Then we're like, then we're gonna be movie stars, and it's great. In this neighborhood, and we're like, we got a little place. We're not in the dorms anymore. And literally, like 4 cop cars, 5 ambulances, and a fire truck pull up to the place across the street from us, and we're all just like mid puff, just like, where the fuck did we just move to?
Right. Exactly.
But like, and it was never. That was like a one-off of like a crazy night. Nothing was ever too sketchy, but it was. Everyone always said like, yeah, don't go a couple blocks further that way.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know what? Like Columbia's in Harlem, but they want to call it Morningside Heights.
Yeah.
You know, so for the kids who are coming
some
from those
fancy name.
protected places,
Sure.
you don't want to say you're going to Harlem, but
Right.
you know, a lot has changed. It's weird. You're protected, obviously, in the bubble of being on a campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of campuses, a lot of stadiums are in bad neighborhoods. Cheaper land for one, so
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
they always do that, and then they heighten the security force, and you don't notice it, but they are making
there.
sure you're
Yeah.
protected,
Yeah.
even though you're right there, sandwiched between the hood.
How do you think the Ram Stadium is going to fare down there? It's going to crush, right?
Chargers and Rams.
Oh yeah,
Stadium.
my bad.
yeah,
My bad. My bad.
yeah.
My
You
bad.
better respect
My
this.
bad, dude. Guess what? I'm more of a Chargers fan than I'm a Rams fan,
There you
obviously
go.
because of the divisional shit with my Hawks. But it was that a big. Were you fired up? First of all, just a piggyback on the Chargers thing, but like when they came up here, was that?
That was huge.
Yeah.
I supported it.
Yeah.
I understand what sports is, and I don't think a lot of people get it. One, it's not life. It's a means to an end.
Whoa.
It's not. I don't want to hear that shit. People always like,
Listen, man,
you gotta
I want my players taking pay cuts to stay with their teams.
Tom Brady, huh?
Yeah, they got to do what. Yeah, it's like everyone expects people to be Tom Brady and take
Yeah.
cuts for the team. It's like, well, not everyone's married to Giselle, who's making $50 million a year,
Exactly.
like more.
And asked him how that pay cut went when he wanted to take the pay cut, took the pay cut, and then he said, that's for Wes Welker. And they said, we're not paying Wes Welker. And then they didn't give him the money back. Like, but,
Wow.
you know,
Yeah.
look, you got to weigh the balance because
Yeah.
he also has 5 going on 6 rings maybe. So, you
Wow.
know,
Yeah,
everything
maybe.
has an opportunity cost.
But do you think LA can house 2 teams?
Absolutely,
yeah.
man. You know, I mean, first of all, we have the population. Do
Yeah.
we have the interest? Does it have the entertainment product and value?
Yeah.
I think the Lakers showed what LA is best at. It's this duality, Showtime Lakers, you know, and they
Yeah.
try to go Showtime 2.0 now. Basically, you have to be great on the field, on the court, but you also got to entertain people,
Gotta be
man.
flashy.
More than the wins and losses.
You
People
got to
just
have
wanna know it.
something, and I feel like McVay is doing that for the Rams. He's this young,
Yeah.
good-looking,
Right.
smart dude, and then you got a guy like Gurley that's like, okay, like that's the star we can kind of hang our hat on,
Right.
Who's funny and stuff like that. But yeah, you need. It's not just the X's and O's. It's not just being good.
No,
Like,
I mean,
you
ask
have
the
to-
San Antonio Spurs about that. Like, even though,
Right.
you know, shout out to Beetle.
yeah,
Everybody knows they're great, but
Yeah.
who's tuning in for that? You know what I mean? It's just
No.
like enough. You know?
I mean, in
I'd rather watch Bob Ross paint for. Yeah, I'd rather watch Bob Ross paint the game that the Spurs were playing at that time when
Right.
the Spurs play.
Yeah.
Again, shout out, love you, Michelle. But
We're
it's
just
just
give
too.
Tim Duncan a happy little head. Just give him a happy little head.
Yeah,
Just-
just gonna give Sean Elliott just some fun little fingers here.
So good. So good.
Wait, so then when did you go to? When did sports become like a part of your life? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. At age 7, I was really good in class. Like, I was just one of those eager learners from day one, just
I
sit
heard
in the
that.
front.
Hand up first, right?
Hand up first. I'm a
Yeah.
nerd, dude. Like, don't let none of this fool you in size
Really?
and the accolade and
Valedictorian
football.
of your high school?
They say that, but I wasn't, and I let them run with it. But I'm like, hell
Like,
no.
I won't correct you.
Yeah, right. I was like top 5, but
Yeah.
I wasn't
Okay.
one.
Still
I
impressive.
mean, if
Yeah,
you
I wasn't one.
if you factor in the athletics as like a handicap, I think that puts you in valedictorian.
Damn right. With my schedule,
Yeah.
I was one.
Yeah.
That's why I don't correct too many people.
Yeah.
But,
exactly.
yeah,
Did you like school? Is that
I just did, man. I liked it because we had to be there. I remember my first logical step of why I wanted to be a great student. I started to add up my time. I was like, okay, so I'm at school from 8 to 3. Okay, that's 7 hours. But then I have to get up at like 7. This is elementary school.
Yeah.
I got to get up at 7. I got to walk to school. And then after that, I'm hanging out till I don't get home to 4. So that's 2 more hours. Okay, that's 9 hours. Then I'm going to practice. And practice is 2-3 hours max. I was like, wait a minute. I'm spending 3 times as much time somewhere that I'm supposed to hate and not care about and not pay attention. I was like, hell no. So all my friends were caught up in being cool. Same old stuff. What
course.
clothes you're wearing, what shoes you got.
which everyone's got a little piece of that, but you don't want it to consume you, right?
Yeah, like, my friends were caught up in starter jackets at the time. That was the thing. Yeah,
Good
what
thing to be
team you
caught
got?
into.
So
Yeah.
good.
Right? Everybody was all in.
My mom threw away my Supersonics one when we moved, and I still have not forgiven her.
Oh, damn.
Come on, man. It's a collector's item now.
That is a collector's
Yeah,
item.
dude.
Yeah, I had a Raiders one. My sister had
Yeah.
a white Raiders. I had the black Raiders.
Yeah.
I lost mine. Maybe I got jacked and didn't even notice. Somebody just took it from me. But yeah, I was just caught up in different things, and then I always had the responsibility of, look, I knew what the hood was. I knew we were broke. I knew we didn't have a lot of people in our family who lived out their dreams and desires, but were just workers and, happy people, but, light company, phone company, postal employees, like, no one at 9 is drawing that up, but then if that's your reality, you got to make the best of it.
Yeah.
So when you're intimate with that, it can sound judgmental, but you start to realize, oh, that's why you're on the edge. Oh, that's why you drink a lot. Oh, that's why you're not always supportive. Like, they didn't live their life to the fullest.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
I started to say, wait a minute, I got to look at what I have, and I didn't have much. I'm not a tremendous athlete. I'm just big, and I can run. So people mistake that as, oh, you're an athlete. No, I can't play basketball worth a damn. I'm horrible.
Oh, shit.
Don't make me go sideways. No, I'm not. I'm going straight ahead.
Not a lateral move.
Not a lateral
yeah,
move.
No.
So I was really good in football, just the speed and just the power, and I'm not scared of anything.
Yeah.
And I was good in track. And I just said, look, that's my athletic gifts. Let's harness those. Let's make the most of it. And then my academics, just because I liked school and I knew I was going to be there more than anything else.
Now, I would think that with a guy like at your size that you talk about growing up in certain neighborhoods, did gangs try to recruit you?
It was a weird experience. I had uncles who were gang members, and so that's the 70s and late 70s. And I remember going to my first funeral. My uncle got killed. Supposedly, they cut his brake line. Some other gangsters cut his brake line in his car, his truck, and he just couldn't stop on the freeway. So
Jeez.
So one of those. And then I went to another funeral shortly thereafter, another uncle. I didn't know they were Crips. I really didn't. I mean, my uncles, now looking at pictures, blue curlers in their hair, big old perms, just blue cutlasses. It's all gang shit. And I didn't know. I'm 6. I'm 5. I'm 7. I'm
That's
just like.
just your uncle.
Just my uncle.
Yeah.
But then my uncle was, all of them were the man in the streets. They go outside, everybody bowing down, everybody respecting their cars, their life. But I saw them in the house, and I saw the tears. I saw the frustration. I saw the anger. And I was like, damn, how you the man out there and you're not happy in here like that, And so for me.
At 6, you're taking this in.
I'm taking it in and not knowing how to compute it. I'm just like taking input, like just bring it in.
Yeah.
And then when you get to that age when you start to get recruited or mess with, it's not enticing. It's just the facade. It's like.
So you saw the
facade.
life.
I saw it behind the veil.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see gang banging through movies and through music. I saw it like, no, this shit will kill you. I've been to too many funerals before the age of 10. And I also realized from my family that they didn't want to necessarily be a part of this world. Everyone was just trying to make do with what they had. Everyone's trying to do the best. So I'm on welfare, food stamps, all this stuff. And I'm just like, wait a minute. And the gang start coming to me, and I realized that that's just a death trap, man. That's a one-way ticket to hell.
That's really mature of you to have those thoughts, because a lot of people look at the gang as like, oh, wait, but he's 17 and he's driving a BMW.
Yeah.
Like,
He's got a sweet life.
yeah, like
Yeah.
They look at it as the quick way out, not looking at the long-term implications.
Yeah, I did the same thing when it came to my collegiate choice. Like, I went to Columbia because I was thinking long game. And look, if you're a football player and getting recruited by big schools like I was, it's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
I didn't have all the accolade and fun that you get from being at a big school. I didn't have all the attention you get. You don't get all the love from your peers. You're not on TV. You don't get the fresh sweatsuit. I didn't get none of that. However, I was playing a long game. So same thing with the gang culture and everything. It was never enticing, because I was like, even if you got a 5.0 or a Nissan truck, all the shit that they were all dying over, I was like, they change those models every year, bro. And look, there was a day where a 560 SEC was the best car ever.
Yeah.
If you see that shit right now, you're like, what the hell? But the crazy thing is, someone's died over that before. And it's like, no one cares. There was a day where Suzuki Samurais and Sidekicks were everything. Stop. Like, no one cares anymore. So I looked at it from that vantage point, like, this is always moving. Don't get caught up in the now, but the next.
And you talk about this in your book, Never
smart.
Shut Up, which is unbelievable, by the way, dude. There's a handful of sports books that I've read, and like, this is your first book?
Yeah, first book.
Crushed it, dude.
Thank you,
I
brother.
mean, obviously, like, you got so much to go into it, but like all this inner city violence stuff that you talk about, like people, I employ people to like, because you really go into it in depth, but like, how is there an age cutoff for getting recruited? Like you said, you weren't getting when the time came. When is that time? If you were living around all that, like where people start to notice, like, and also do they see your size and be like, oh shit, he'd be a great, like, what's the roster sheet look like for a gang? I guess I'm curious, because I grew up in Lake Forest Park,
Is
Washington.
there a flank man? Is there a good wheel dude?
Well, you gotta understand too, like this horrific side of the gang thing, like, you know, fucking suburban white boys, like, dude, look at that outside being like, fuck yeah, it'd be cool to be in a gang, like, because of what you do see out there, not knowing at all about that inner workings, man. And it's and then as you do get older and start to like hear these stories, like you're putting in your book, like, it's fucking bonkers, dude.
It's crazy.
And the fact that you even get out of it or have the wherewithal to compare, and I guess it does, and you do talk about, again, in the book Never Shut Up, that like, to be able to see it all and then step back and go, that's not what I want. It's easier said than done, don't you think?
It's definitely easier said than done. Look, I was blessed. I had 2 parents in the home. That's a great nuclear start. A lot of kids in the hood don't have that, so they're already out of balance. They don't get, one parent who is talking and understanding, another parent being a disciplinarian and playing off each other. They don't get both the masculine and feminine side from whatever that can come from. They just don't get the balance. So they hear it one way, and then what happens for most gangsters that I ever met, they felt that the home didn't give them enough love, even if it did. Some of them just felt like there were issues at home. Maybe the parent had to work too much, wasn't attending to their needs and things that they desired. So they look for love and family unit and that bond outside the home. I always tell people, someone's going to raise your kids. It better be you. If not, the streets will. Quick. And as soon as you step out the house,
really good advice.
The streets are like, oh, mama didn't listen, daddy didn't take care of that, oh, you didn't get this, come here. And then the big brothers, the uncles, they start to form, and next thing you know, that's the gang. And then that's nothing but just brothers from another to you. And then next thing you know, you got to just go down dark paths to show your loyalty, this false loyalty to me. But like, we're all down. Really, we're powerless. The reason why you're gangbanging and shooting everybody in your 5-block radius is because you can't do shit in your own mind greater than that. So what you start to do is you bring the world closer to you. You don't think about Rosecrans, where I grew up off of.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's the same street that is in Manhattan Beach. On the damn Strand.
Crazy?
That is the same Rosecrans where people have gotten killed in Compton left and right since the first day of life. So it's crazy that if you just can expand your mind beyond your borders, you will learn these things. But a lot of kids, man, look, it's real out there. It was life or death. Real colors. I couldn't wear red. I couldn't wear certain colors, logos, symbols, teams. I couldn't wear.
Wait, why? Because the gangs.
Oh man, everything was a code. Everything was a code. Your fingers this way is peace. Your fingers this way is 60s. Your fingers this way is Hoover. And literally, I've seen people get fucked up because they moved their thumb in the wrong place. Peace is 60s and Hoover is all the same 2-finger spread. It's
so you
crazy.
could try to be showing like your boy, like, yeah, I gave a girl the shocker, and he's like, don't do that one. It's 2 fingers and one pinky, not 2 pinkies, 1 finger.
Right. I'm talking 80s gangbanging.
Oh, okay.
It evolved. It got sensationalized. It converted. It got a little diluted. People still were losing their life, but it wasn't as strict. There was a day where you couldn't Crip walk unless you were a Crip from that hood. Then that changed into like you could be B2K and just be in the video and do the Crip walk. Like, you know what I mean?
I remember going to school dances in Orange County and I could Crip walk, not knowing what it meant.
Right.
I just know that every time I did it, everyone started cheering and going, "Holy shit, little guy's Crip walking!"
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So
that's all I
flipped.
know. I had
Everything
no
flipped.
clue.
Yeah, man. So
Sports are
crazy.
such and that is how consistent do you see that now with people like that? I mean, like Marshawn Lynch talks about that a lot, right? Like how sports kind of saved him and his community. Like, is it more and more? Like, what are the stats as far as like people like yourself that have been, right? Like having that as an outlet to go, all right, and also something to focus on. Like I even know just for me, like growing up, sports was something to, and I didn't grow up around even close to that type of trouble, but like still the kids that are like not doing school and doing drugs and all that shit, and like doing sports made me not have that be an option, you know, because I just go, I love this, and I know if I don't commit to it, then or if I fall into that stuff, I'm not going to get to do this.
Yes, I mean, sports is certainly a savior. One, just because idle time is the devil's workshop. Like that's where he gets his work done. Whatever you think of that negative energy and element in this world, whatever you call that, shit. Let a 9-year-old just have from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. to be in front of the house in some neighborhood. It's not going to work out well for that kid. I don't give a damn where he is. You know, that's just too much, let alone the hood. So it's a savior in many ways. It's a savior mentally because now you're starting to find out who you are. Identity, discipline. You start to realize work ethic. You start to do things that are real attributes in the real world beyond sports.
Discipline is huge because I think a lot of kids, if they're buried into an iPad playing Fortnite, they don't know how to take criticism. They don't know how to take criticism from a coach. A coach that can say, "Hey, don't do this. You're fucking up. You're letting your teammates down." I think that stuff you really need growing up, whether it be in football or any sport, any team sport where you know that there's something out there that's bigger than yourself. Yeah,
exactly. And I'm glad you said it that way. Not only team sports lets you understand quickly that you can't judge a book by its cover. You can be big on the bus and little on the field. Like, you know, like there's a guy's and then you hit him once and you're like, okay, that's different. Don't let the paint job fool you. Like don't think you're going to go out there. And it's funny, we just had this conversation. There was a day where no one respected the white athlete. And there's still some signs of that. You know, Christian McCaffrey is still feeling that. He's like, I'm a white running back destroying people, and I still don't get my fair due. You got to learn these things in sports quickly. You get off the bus thinking, oh, man, we're going to beat that team. Look at them. They don't even have good uniforms. Look at them. They're not even in the line straight. That ball get kicked off. You're like, what just happened?
Hey, we all saw Little Giants.
There you go. There
we saw that team could make some noise.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, you learn so many lessons from sports, but I like not only do you have to play for something greater than yourself and find commonality from all these participants, but also, it's nothing better for you in life to know that you tried 100% and failed. Like not one, failed. Like somebody, and then even if they beat you and they win 90% and they beat your 100, it just immediately crystallizes that work ethic is one lane, talent is another lane, and also you got to put yourself in opportunities' way every single time. You have to focus in every single moment to stay on your toes, or else you will lose.
Yeah, you can't take a play off.
You can't take a play off, man. This dude is better than you. This dude just beat you. Oh, man, when you learn those lessons and you're young, the world better look out.
Were you dope when you first started playing?
I was the shit.
Of course.
In football
Yeah.
and track.
Dope.
I played football, track, and basketball all my first year.
Wow.
Okay.
Talking about the
At
hood,
Columbia.
like, the lottery tickets. And my family was like, "Oh, he can run. He can play every sport."
Yeah, exactly.
So
Get him out there.
I was out there. I played basketball. First was football. Yeah, played football. I was the second best player on our team. We had a cat named Stace Bozeman, who's a living legend. Dude was next level, but he chose basketball over football, kind of Charlie Ward style.
Yeah.
He made it pro in the NBA. But if he had played football,
Wow.
Game over.
Like game over. Like next level Randall Cunningham stuff.
Wow.
But he chose basketball. That was his thing.
I always wonder that with guys that have, like Nate Robinson too, man. When I would see him play him at UW, and then I was like, this guy is fucking. Like he literally blocked a 7-footer during the basketball game, and then he was crushing football, and then he picked hoops, and I was like,
yeah, they all did.
Like,
it's smart. I mean, look, if you can, no one picks football. Football chooses you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everyone chooses basketball. Like we all like, hey, I can play basketball.
Yeah.
And then basketball like, nah, we ain't choosing you.
Yeah.
So,
Well, now you even look at who's the kid from Oklahoma, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
He's choosing football. It looks like over a pro baseball, and everyone's looking at him like, what? No.
Right.
Get the guaranteed money. Get the big contracts.
It's weird. It changed. Like there was a day in the 80s when I first started playing sports. So you're looking at this. Basketball and baseball clearly made more money than football. I mean, football players were like having off-season jobs.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And now per dollar per season, even though it's not guaranteed, they're all in the same world.
Yeah.
The difference is in baseball, it takes you like 7 years to get your money. Like if you're
big
big
contract.
NBA, you get the rookie extension, so you can get a little money, and then you get your big contract. Football, dudes make money from day one. Even though there's a rookie wage scale, you could be Lamar Jackson and make $8 million a year, and you're the 32nd pick in the first round. So Kyler Murray's making a short-term smart decision now because it's not guaranteed contracts.
Right.
Except Kirk Cousins. You got to make sure
you change that game.
You got to stay at that level, but no one wants to play 162 games and travel to Milwaukee and
ride the bus and doing the minors.
Will they ever cut the baseball schedule? It's just always. I mean, you see, like every year the stadiums, like at some month-to-month span, look like fucking Hanson concerts. Like where you're just like, people are like, there's still the game's it's happening. I guess I'll go, but I got these tickets from a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
baseball is just too long, and then no one. Like I know a lot of baseball players, and you just talk to them, and they're like, "Dude,
it's a grind.
It's just a grind. Like, they're bored there. Like in the game, in-game experience, they're bored."
Why do you think my boy Griffey fell asleep? I mean, that fucking sucks. And guess what? He deserved a nap after everything. After he saved baseball in our city.
Yeah.
And everyone would try to come down on him, and the timing was just so bad. Obviously, he was like about to retire, and then he just bailed right after that. But like,
baseball knows it too.
Games.
How it's the only sport. Think about it. They know it's boring. In the 7th inning, they're like, "Everybody, get up, wake up! Come on, y'all! All right, let's sing together. Wake up!
Wake the fuck! The song should be called "Wake the Fuck Up." There's 2 more innings left.
Exactly.
Dude.
What other sport ever thinks about? Hey, wait a minute. Where's everybody? What is everybody doing? No one is paying attention.
Dude, that is so funny.
That's baseball.
That's just how it is. And like 162 games, and they can't shorten the season because baseball, more than the other sport, is statistics. It's all about the holy records and the Ironmans and the how many home runs did you hit in a year, batting averages, and WAR, and all that crap. And now it's like, well, if we shorten it to 120 games, then it's not going to be authentic. It's like, who gives a fuck?
Well, the economic model is so regional and localized, and their individual networks per teams.
Right.
The teams that are blessed to have it. They can't give up that product. They can't give up that
money.
That's the money. Those hits, put them out there. We don't care if only 12 people are watching.
Yeah, that's why they want to do
that volume.
That's why they want to stretch the NFL season to 20 games or whatever the hell, so they
Dude,
can
stretch
make
it to
more
50.
money.
Let's fucking go. Like 50 games, 2 a week.
Woo, you imagine
Fuck that, dude.
Anything to get Tebow back in football, baby. I'm with it. Anything to get Tebow back. Man, they did that boy wrong.
What is the true mental toughness? And again, you talk about this and Never Shut Up, which you can get Amazon, Google Play, Barnes & Noble. What's your favorite spot to tell people to get it at? Is there one?
All those, audible.com.
Yeah.
My website. Shit, I should say that first.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Go to marcelluswiley.com and you'll see me.
Did you do your own Audible book?
Yes,
Oh,
I did.
There you go.
Yo,
That's
the
great.
grind of my life.
Talk about that.
No, I don't ever again. I couldn't believe it. So I should have known something when the publisher, she hit me and she was like, so are you interested in doing your audiobook? And for that even to be a question, you have to know that there must be a mountain. It must be a bear because they're like, it's my book. Yeah, I want to talk about my book and say my book. She's like, and then my agent hit me on the side. I was like, I'm going to tell you right now, it's a grizzly. It's a mother.
Yeah.
But if you do it, if you finish it, it's going to be amazing. You're going to be so happy with the product. Cool. I played football. Bill Parcells double days, triple days in college. I'm not bleeding in the studio.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good.
She.
You've also been talking on air for a long time, and you're super, like, not losing your voice, I'm sure. You're like, I got this. I'm energetic. I got enough, like.
Okay, first of all, it took 3 full days, 7 hours a session, 21 hours in there. That wasn't even that bad. The worst part was they wanted verbatim, line for line, word for word. Okay, not bad.
Yeah.
But then what happens is you read the line, and you can read it correctly, phonetically, but you didn't put the emotion or the context because it's your book. So then I'm like, oh, shit, yeah, this is my life. Oh, I got to put them, the listener in that place.
You gotta make them feel like you're just talking about this once, and it's all coming out.
Yeah. So then you go back and you say, oh, I got the context. You nail the context, but then you fumble over a word. Oh, shit. So now I'm on my third take on the first line. I'm like, no. And
my God.
And there's some producer that's with you that they have to be on their game the whole time to know that when you mispronounced a word, or if you did, hey, man, you should be more excited because this is what's coming up, or this is what you're building to.
You've done this before.
At some point, you just say, fuck it, get Rich Eisen to read it. Like, you just go, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're just like, you know what, man? Like, they're not going to tell the difference.
Yeah, right.
He's got a smooth voice, too.
I would love for Rich Eisen to talk about growing up in Compton.
Oh, my God.
That would be.
That's better than, I was going to say Earl Jones. But
Well, yeah, for sure, dude.
I mean, if Mufasa does my book, it's a wrap. Like, that shit's selling, bro.
Oh, my God. How does that even, well, again, I wanted to know, we're going to talk more about the book, but, like, that, because I've heard you say it not only in the book, but on a bunch of interviews, like, the grind of football and, like, every fan knows of, like, what they think they know what players are going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, week to week, and you hear and you watch the coaches talk about the injury reports, and, like, you see Any Given Sunday, right? And, like, all that stuff makes fans go, like, oh, yeah, like, and then they care and they don't care because, like, just get out there and play. But I feel like we are getting a slice of what it is. Like any job where you truly, if you haven't done it, it's like in our work, you get like agents or even comedy club bookers that look down on you or talk about shit like they've done it, and you're like, you've never even been on stage, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that kills you,
Yeah,
so
man.
Like in the same token with athletes and football players, especially, like when you hear people or at least look at them and they're like, yeah, dude, I know what you're going through, like, or I've gotten a sense because I've read about it. Or you're just like,
hey, man, I played a lot of Madden.
Oh, look at your ass. You
I played a lot of Madden. I had a good franchise mode.
Yeah.
So,
see, you're the new Madden player. I tapped out of Madden in '95 when you couldn't run 100 yards back to throw it 100 yards. Remember, it used to be like fake shit.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
You know how many Super Nintendo controllers I broke from Madden '95?
That was my last year.
Yeah.
But then it got real. Like Madden '96.
Once you're calling audibles and doing like
I'm good.
You never wanted to go back and play yourself though?
No, you know what? One of the biggest honors I ever had was I was named a Madden legend. And so people are like, wait a minute, you didn't have a legendary career. You're right. You guys are right. However, I had legendary seasons. So I had 2 seasons that people were like, yo, you motherfuckers killing it. Yeah. And then I, injury prone, I couldn't recover life. But they picked one of those seasons and they're like, he's a Madden legend. I'm like, what the hell?
Unbelievable.
So my son is going to think his daddy, beyond what I did for him and the family and the house and all that stuff, he's like, my daddy's a Madden legend. Shut your shit. That's for life.
Damn.
Give me your sandwich when he's trying to trade at lunch, What's your dad done?
But, football, whoo.
Yeah, I mean, that's like what a big question,
No one
what's
gets
the week? What's the week? So you play on Sunday.
Yeah.
What's Monday? What's Tuesday?
Let me quote the famous Clubber Lang. I give it to you in one word. Pain. That shit hurt. Football, I don't.
That shit hurt.
Yeah.
Man, no one.
That's a great follow-up book title, by the way.
That shit hurt.
Right?
Yeah.
No one unconditionally loves football.
Yeah.
People always, I've been saying that for 5-10 years, however long I've been doing this on air. No one chooses football, it chooses you. And then people always shoot back at me. No. And then Ray Lewis's and Mike Singletary's. I'm like, okay. Have y'all watched the Pro Bowl lately? Anybody? When it's voluntary, when it's just, hey, do you casually want to play the game of football? Ain't no pickup games of football. No one does this shit unless they got to do this, right?
To get paid.
Yes. Okay.
It's not Thanksgiving backyard where you're just kind of chucking in the like.
No
one's
turkey bowl.
Yeah. No one's laying people out.
Dude,
in the
last
in
turkey
the
bowl I
backyard.
played in was 6 years ago, and a D3 kid showed up and knocked the wind out of me in front of my mom, and I go, I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm going to 24-hour fitness to play a half-court basketball game.
Yes, incentives shape behavior. So football has incentivized us at a pro level to the point where our behavior is going to be like we're all in. But what is football? It's so amazing, the positives. Dude, you're playing with these talented guys from all walks of life all over the world who you have very little in common outside of probably the sports scope. But guess what? You come together, and in that big mass of individuals, it's so great. Like, especially when I played, when it wasn't social media and it wasn't everybody had the gotcha phone and it wasn't PC. Like, dudes would be in there dog cursing each other over religion and not tripping. It wasn't like a big scandal. And then we'll go out there and ball for each other. It was like you can easily compartmentalize in those days. The game itself, like, it's amazing. Every single dude who makes it pro is a beast. But we're in a world where we can't do that. We only could talk about greatness and everyone else sucks. I get media. But every single dude is special. I mean, when you get to the NFL level.
The NFL, they made it.
They made it. And I used to just sit there when I'm drafted second round and I'm in Buffalo in 97. I'm looking at my teammates. And it's Bruce Smith. It's Andre Reed. It's Thurman Thomas. And then there's dudes who are undrafted. And I'm like, he went to A&M. He went to Florida State. Beast. Yeah. And then they're going to cut some of us. And then we're still here. And I know I'm good. And I know he's good. But what's going to make me better than him? Right. And then you realize we're all big. We're all fast. We're all strong. I have to dive in here and dive up here to beat him out there. Shit's crazy. And then even if you beat him that one play, he ain't no punk.
Yeah. Right. He's going to come back.
Play two. You got to go do it again. You got to climb the mountain like 70 times, and that's just a normal day.
Even just get yourself. That's why when everybody was giving Sherman so much shit after the NFC Championship game when he was, going off on Crabtree.
I ask you the final play. Take me through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to shut it for you real quick. L.O.B.
And then he said afterwards, which by the way, I initially knew in that moment, I'm like, I feel like there's so many more things he could have said right there because he's so jacked up, dude.
Yeah.
And then he said afterwards, I remember, and I'll never forget this, he was like, do you even realize what we have to do to ourselves to get ourselves fired up to go out there to kill, to fucking, to battle? Like, even that mentality. So then, like, and then you make a play like that and the stakes, and then a mic is shoved in your face right after.
Preach.
If I did all that, I would, dude, the amount of F-bombs I would be dropping, like, I mean, I can't even believe that he was so articulate and not, and just an athlete. Like, and it was just like, what are you fucking talking about? And I'm like, dude, this is like so tame for what should really be said.
Yeah,
and we should be celebrating the true, like, and he still got his true emotions through, but it was like.
Yeah. People don't understand the emotional content that it takes to get to that place. People don't understand that you got to go to a psychotic place in your head. All that music before the game, all that jumping around, all that slapping each other in the face is to leave the planet Earth and to go somewhere else for 3 hours. And then we don't give enough credit to the guys who can compartmentalize, turn that switch back off, and be articulate after the game. Because in the moment, you basically went into a jungle with a mic, went to the lion's den, and said, what's going on? Guess what's coming out of there? Roar. And you're not ready. And it's amazing. We want to turn down the volume of the roar. Watch where you step in. It wasn't on Aaron Andrews necessarily. No. It's just, look, don't go there unless you want to go here. And they didn't want to go there.
And it's just so amazing to me that sometimes the media gets mad at players for giving the stereotypical, got to take it one game at a time. And then you understand the reason why the players give those answers is because they can't say what they're actually thinking.
Yeah.
So they have to have those answers stored up. So where it's just like, I take it one game at a time. I really respect the opponent. They're going to do it. Like you have those that you can just call up, and you know those aren't going to be controversial answers.
Yeah. Pull string, Russell Wilson. Here we go. Pull string, Russell Wilson. Russell
shit.
Wilson,
Yeah,
and
I
I
know,
love
dude.
him, but he
No,
got to do
dude,
that
I know.
because he is too big a brand to be out there saying, "Yo, I saw the corner in film this week. He sucked, so I'm about to go smoke him." And I had to hit him on that dig route every time I saw him because he can't cover it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the new network we need. I mean, who wants to
know.
see that?
Nobody.
Everyone, but
Everyone wants to see it. Hell, we saw it when damn Snoop Dogg did the commentary for the Kings game. Was that not the best thing ever?
that was. Hey, look at him though. Oh, cuz he tripping. I was like, man, that is hockey at its best.
Can we get Snoop or some other people to start announcing hockey, and maybe then they won't be the fourth sport?
I got something up my sleeve. I'm gonna have to take that item and
Do
make
it.
it come to life.
yeah,
But yeah,
dude.
football is just a beast, man. And it's funny. I always clown with basketball players. Football players always has this we have this jealousy for basketball players.
For real?
Think about it. In high school, they got chosen. We chose what they are doing, which is playing basketball. So now we're stuck. The athletic pyramid, basketball's at the top. Then you get down to football next. And then if you can't do football, you start saying, oh, shit, can I do track or something? Then if you can't do all of them, UFC it. You know, fuck it. Like, whoop somebody at boxing. You can't do nothing else, bro.
yeah.
We get it. So it's funny. Basketball players walk around empty backpacks and flip-flops and socks. We know how it is walking in class. They 6'11".
Oh, yeah.
Girls looking at them. We looking at them. Look at the girls. We like,
course.
oh, we're
I know,
lost.
I know.
And then they go to practice. They're wearing tank tops. Everybody can see them. They get touched. Foul. Free throw.
Right.
We get touched. They like, second down, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Do it again.
Like, do it again. And so
Oh, shit.
football, we have this jealousy for them. But think about their game day versus ours. We have a curfew. And it ain't just to keep us out the streets. It's to make sure that you understand what you about to do tomorrow, bro. I need you to get 8 hours on that. Don't run the streets and lose that. Basketball players, no curfew. Make shoot around the next day. Then they wake up, they go to shoot around sometimes, and then they take a nap. And then they take a nap.
Dude,
and
play
then,
some 2K. Yeah,
play
just
some 2K.
I mean,
and then they go to the mall on game day.
Yeah.
Football players, we wake up, we got meetings, we got the little buffet breakfast,
Film
and
room.
then we hear the marching orders. We got hell to pay, injections, smelling salts, psychotic behavior, and we go out there. And every time you step on the field, you know you won't be healthier when you leave it. You can't. This finger's gonna get dislocated. That one's gonna bleed. This is gonna get jammed. You're getting a stinger, and that's not even something to complain about. Go to your coach talking about my finger dislocated. He'd be like, "What? No, it's not.
No.
Get your ass back in there."
Yo, my high school basketball coach did that to me once mid-game. That's
Yeah?
insane. And I'm surprised that people aren't getting like truly fucked up every play, but maybe they are, and it's just like you said, you have to suck it up unless it is a true snap. Like when I was at the Cardinals-Hawks game when Earl broke his leg for the third time, which was the worst, and it's like, unless it's that where you truly can't get up, you got to get up, yeah?
Yeah, you know it's weird. One, they get you young. There's something to just being a youngster in anything, that youthful energy, you know. How they say, you know, youth is wasted on the young. A lot of, I don't know any better. You just are mesmerized. You're in the zone. Two, you're more pliable. I mean, I have a 3-year-old son. This sucker could turn into an egg roll, and then like he loves to race me. Like anything we do around the house, he wants to race. He's competitive as hell.
Dope, right?
I'm loving
you
that.
love that, right?
Yeah.
Little track
How
star.
can you
Here
not,
we go.
dude? Yeah.
Get that fire going.
Get that fire going. But
Yeah.
I need time to warm up the race now. Like I'm laying on my back, and he's like, "Come on, daddy." And I'm like, all right, this egg roll pops up ready to go. I'm like, bro, even if it's only 10 yards, I still need,
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to stretch.
I got to
Stretching.
stretch. But when you're young, you can do those things, man. And then the craziest part, there's a mob mentality. Like when you see in the stands, when you see 5 guys fighting and you see the Yellow Jackets coming, it's just because he came 5 deep. It's because if he was by himself, he ain't fighting nobody because he ain't even getting into that situation. So when you roll up on the field with 53 dudes, all of us, and we all wearing the same colors, we in that zone. So mob mentality meets your young, meets that adrenaline, and I can make 80,000 people scream for me if I do one thing right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's just all going to ignite in the right moment.
That's why when like I hear some sports commentators being like, man, I hate these players that go around the end, they do their job and sack the quarterback, and then they got to dance. I'm like, yes! I completely, yes!
Yes.
Are you kidding me? You just imposed your will on an elite athlete, and then you sack the quarterback after getting in the mental state that you have to get into to even perform that?
Say it.
Dance, like enjoy it.
Hell yeah!
You know what I mean?
I mean, literally go all Paul Abdul out in that
Yes.
mother. Like, you know what's crazy?
Dude, you got to celebrate those big things. The first time I did, go ahead, Paul Abdul.
I'm just saying. What people understand is football is a great game of skill.
Yeah.
It's a greater game of will, and you're moving men
Yeah.
across a basic chessboard against their will. They don't want this to happen to you.
Yes.
And they're great at what they do.
This 300-pound guy that can bench press 400 doesn't want to move.
Right.
Move him.
Right. Like, people trip me out and then
Fuck.
Yeah, the real world, I go out with somebody in the real world.
Yeah.
We go to the club and they see the bouncers and they're like, oh my God, damn, the dude big. Diesel. I'm like, that's one.
Yeah.
I had to go against 5 of those dudes every single play, every single day. Like, and it's crazy. Like, people don't understand the dimensions, the mental dynamics we go through. So yeah, man, when it's time to celebrate, bro, don't hold back.
You have to. When I nail my Torah portion at my bar mitzvah, I fucking pump my fist in the air. When Brad grabbed cereal off the top shelf for the first time, he fucking did the worm.
Oh, look at that.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
That
You
was
went
a
up
big
there.
time
What was the cereal,
accomplishment.
though? Let me hear that.
Sugar Smacks.
Sugar Smacks? Oh, he
Okay.
old as hell.
Okay.
Diggum Smacks. They don't even sell that sugar. They don't sell that no more.
Kick 'em.
Do they still sell Diggum Smacks?
I don't
they
think
can't.
so.
They can't.
Yeah, now they call them whole wheat smacks or whatever the hell. But
Does your son have a go-to cereal?
No.
You letting him eat cereal?
Cheerios right now.
Yeah.
We keeping it
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Now-
It's funny. He has never had McDonald's. He's not into like fast food and bad food.
Great.
Like he'll say, "What do you want for dinner?" He was like, "Chicken nuggets, broccoli, and like some fruit." Like, he doesn't want chips and stuff. So that means it's coming. Like, sooner or later he gonna want some chips.
He's gonna have it for the first time. And be like,
How hungry would you get playing? Like, I mean, I remember even just in my 2 days in high school and shit. Like, I would come back and slam like 7 double-deckers from Taco Bell and still be hungry,
Right?
Because of the workout and just that fucking metabolism or whatever. But like, when you were playing, like, what was your meal regimen, like pre-post, and what was your like road snacks?
Yeah, man, you eat a ton, except pre-game. A lot of guys were back in that. We were like, I don't want to feel heavy, or it's weird. If you starve yourself, you heighten other awareness and senses you have. So it's crazy. Like, they say the blind could hear better, stuff of that nature. So if you're starving, you're kind of on edge. So I know a lot of guys, including myself, who used to dabble in, I'm not eating anything. I just want to be on edge.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's crazy. But after that game, you smoking everything. I played in the old NFL where, man, we used to drink alcohol on the plane and all kind of crazy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but then the cats was getting them DUIs, and it was just a bad look from the airport to the crib.
Sure.
Drag racing, cats. I did it a couple of times. Then I was like, man, I can't compete with y'all. Because if you ever drag race from L.A., it's not the same as a dude who's from, like, Tallahassee.
Of course.
No.
Yeah. This shit means something to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not trying to die and race. Like,
Right.
just race, not die,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And
At
they
LA,
go-
you got 2 blocks before you hit traffic, so it's like you can't really.
Yes.
It's like the guys that buy Lamborghinis in Los Angeles. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, man.
When are you gonna get to use that?
Yeah, you're looking at a guy who had a Ferrari too. And you want to know when you use it? At the red light. Because every time I'm parked like this, I just felt heat on these eyes. And I was like, yeah, what's up, girl? All right. I literally sold
Good
my
for
Ferrari
you.
once I met my wife because I was
Yeah.
like, and I told her, I said, I got all I needed out of this car. Now I can't. She left the house while we were dating. And I was living in Manhattan Beach. And these 3 ladies were having a picnic in front of my house. It's like this park in front of the house in the Strand. It was right there.
Yeah.
So it was a great bachelor pad. But I just met my wife, and I knew she was special.
Yeah.
So she's running errands one day. She leaves the garage door open. I'm closing it, and it's these 3 pretty girls at the beach having a picnic in front of my house. Nothing major, except they looked, and they saw a Ferrari in the garage.
Come on.
Wait. So all of a sudden, and I'm like, And then I'm looking down. I can see. I'm like, that's them 3 girls. Now, I am happily in like with my girl at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm also Marcellus, not so reformed yet.
Sure.
So I'm go down, and they're like, hi, we just want to say hello to you. And
Jesus.
I'm like, I mean, I'm looking at them. I'm like, well, keep talking. And then at the same time, I'm like, leave. And then they basically, I said, look, y'all are beautiful. I get it. I'm in a relationship. She just left, and I'm pretty sure you saw that. But anyway, what's up? And they were like, can we just take a picture with you in your car? And I was like, all right, long as y'all go over there, and I can still stare at y'all. Y'all can do that.
You can look.
And then after that, I called the broker. I was like, man, enough of the Ferrari. It's going to cause more harm than good.
Wow. That's
Real
a
talk.
big move.
Yeah.
I can relate. My when I had my grandparents' Mercury Grand Marquis at USC parked on Fraternity Row.
Is that when y'all were puffing?
Yeah.
And the police came?
Dude, it looked like a cop car.
Hell yeah.
It would be parked on Fraternity Row amongst all the, rich USC Escalades and BMWs, and literally this giant boat gray car driven for 2 months by Dolphin Sylvia Brown from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And every weekend people were like, whose grandparents are visiting? I'm like, no, that's just me. That's how I'm getting around. That's how I'm hitting the open mics.
See, you're a little younger than me.
Yeah.
So that would have played well. Like, I grew up in an era where if you just had a car, oh, dude, it could have been a Rolls Royce or it could have been a Grand Marquis. It's the same to us. Because it's like, you got a car. Like, but now, you
You got to step it up.
and these cats got Ubers and Limes now. Like, it's a whole
Scooters.
different animal now. You got to have something fresh.
Yeah.
You talk about the girls just seeing a Ferrari. Like, when people talk about how players are hit up by those outside distractions, like, can you even imagine playing now when it's Instagram, it's Twitter, it's sliding in those DMs?
Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I had that access. Because my friends used to clown me.
Yeah.
I was the first one on Microsoft Outlook way back when I played. I used to have these huge, massive parties, like Ballers TV show parties.
Yeah. Nice.
And people were like, how does Marcellus getting everybody at his parties? Like, they did write-ups on my parties in Sports Illustrated.
No way.
Crazy stuff, like insane parties. It was because I was a first adopter of email blasts. Like, I used to do email blasts. I meet you, I got your email. And then when it was time to party, I let all of them know. And everybody's like, oh, okay. So then what happens is, how do you deal with all this DMing and stuff?
Yeah.
One, it's amazing. First of all, let's just be real. The days of going to the mall and looking over the rail and act like you buying shit for 4 hours, it's so archaic, antiquated. It's so wasteful.
And now, like back in your day, would you have to go to the club and then pretty much announce that you're a football player? Like, hey, everybody,
yeah,
I'm a football player.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
and the helmet mentality, where it's, oh, you don't know who I am? I'm gonna show you what my watch is, my chains, how much I'm spending.
That's how you do it.
Now it's a culture where I'm gonna still pop bottles for the real estate, the luxury of having the table, but I'm actually playing it cool because I know y'all.
It'll come to me.
It's coming. All I gotta do is leave here and then watch that little right corner. Bloop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. DM, baby.
Dude, I drunkenly DM'd Katy Perry to invite her to a show once just because I could.
Because you could.
You know?
Why
and,
not?
and did she respond? Fuck no.
No.
Did she even look at it? Definitely not. But just the fact that was there. I mean, you guys, by the way, speak for yourself, killer.
Yes.
You're crushing it.
Our
I will
show.
say this, and I know Brad will agree. Like, I have a Mount Rushmore of people who talk sports on TV, and it's you, Beetle, Stu Scott, Rich Eisen, and Kenny Mayne.
Dang.
Yeah, dude.
Ooh.
You crush, dude.
Thank you, brother.
I mean, on Nation, dude, and I got to do it once with you, and I mean, you're just there's a combo, and it's almost like being on stage, man. Like, being likable, being articulate, having something to say, and also the way you can give and take and listen, that's huge in in this and what you're doing on TV, but you've mastered it, dude.
Man,
and I don't know how you when you feel like it all clicked for you, but
yeah, man. I mean, shoot, you asked me in 5 years, I would probably say then, and right now I'm like, not yet.
Yeah, but you feel in a good spot now. Yeah,
it's fun.
Where something comes in to something happens in the news to where you immediately go, I have an opinion about it, and I know how to express that and toe the line with also taking into effect, how it might be perceived, or do you even do that? And you just go, no, this is what I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, I think my formula, like everyone's formula, it really starts with your voice, but you got to find it. It's in there. It gets socialized a lot. It gets told what to say. Imagine your voice is being told what to say.
Oh, yeah.
And your voice is like, what? Like, what world are we living in? So when I first started, I was raised in a very, very honest home. Like, we pull no punches and we're not taking care of you. If you suck, you suck. If you're great, you're great. And even if you're great, we're not sucking you up. My mom was like, you're great, move on. It wasn't like you're great, bow down, you know? And when you were bad, you need to stop doing it. My dad called me, I'm 8 years old. I told you about my basketball history, right? Yeah. I played 1 year. I scored 5 points. We had like 20 games. We won a championship, but I scored 5 points the entire season, including 4 in one game. So I really peaked in that one game. I don't know who we played, but I whooped their ass. And
double ice cream that day.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And my dad is like, whew. So at the end of the year, we win our championship. I barely played, if anything. Yeah. And my dad's like, so what do you think of basketball? And I was like, Dad, I don't think I want to play. I immediately felt that it wasn't for me. I wasn't good at it. I didn't even want to try and work at it. Yeah. My dad was like, good. You finished your commitment, respect. And he was like, good, because I didn't want to take you to practice anymore, Zippo.
You are lucky that your nickname is that dude and not Zippo. That would have
shit. And that's my dad. And then when he would take me to practice football, he giving me the dope. He's like, yeah, you're doing well. And you know, it's just like that's why I was raised to that. So my voice has always been about honesty. Yeah. Make your opinions fact-based, which is like I don't just let my opinions be feeling-based because I can feel a lot of different ways a lot of different times. Sure. It's like I get numbers, I get facts, I get real circumstances, and then I just opine from there. But I think just my honesty and that I know I don't know it all, you know? So I just approach it from that, and I think most people got to find that voice.
Yeah, you're coming from a player's perspective, but at the same time, I know a lot of players, I won't mention names, that still I don't know if they're losing touch. I don't know if they like to toe a company line. I don't know if they're not trying to make any waves, but they're just saying the things that you need to say.
Oh, I will. Drew Brees, what is your true stance? What is your true stance?
Yeah, like, and you know, and I get it. You have that career post NFL, and you want to hold on to it, but I do appreciate your honesty.
Yeah,
because you are out there saying some things that you can tell that you'll see the looks on people's faces next to you going, Marcellus.
Yeah, one of the greatest compliments I got from a player was, man, I've never seen a guy criticize someone and you actually still like them. And I've criticized players and then partied with them. Like, dudes come up to me left and right. They be like, you told the truth, because we're all unique with our signature. We're all unique with our fingerprint. We're all unique in our voice. But if you don't hone that and express that, we all know when you're just a carbon copy, you're phony, you're a duplicate. And I'm never going to be that. Now, you may not agree with what I'm saying, and kudos to you. Like, prove me wrong or just have that discussion. But
that's why I feel like some people hate guys like Cowherd because he has opinions. And it's like, well, good.
Yes.
He has an opinion.
Thank you.
Great.
Yes.
You can disagree with it. You can agree with it. You can do whatever you want with it. But at least it's not, well, they got to establish the run game and they got to get to the quarterback. The way you stop Tom Brady is going to go punch him in the mouth and
channel change.
Yeah.
Channel change.
It's the same shit every time.
But I also love that you're not like clickbait. You know, like Stephen A. that's the first example that comes to mind. But sometimes I'm just like, dude, you're screaming just to scream, and like you said, like you're literally saying what I feel like I've said, but you're just saying it like more angry. Like,
well, I give Stephen A. this.
Oh, he's also brilliant at, like, dude, come on, creating a larger-than-life character, which we also want as fans. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm going to say this, because I know where Stephen A. is now, and everyone's kind of like, oh, man, come on, you yelling over that.
Yeah.
Like, stop yelling.
Yes.
I remember the first time I met Stephen A. I don't even know if he remembers. I was playing for the Chargers. It's early 2000s and the best damn sports show up here at Fox.
Okay,
so since I'm playing for the San Diego, closest team to LA, I'm on that show like it felt like weekly, like all the time.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so
That's the next move, by the way, man. You bring that back.
Yeah.
Host that shit. Bring Brad and I. We'll co-host it with you.
Hell yeah, that was a great show.
It was unbelievable.
So I'm doing that, and I remember meeting Stephen A. in the dressing room, and he was just a mild-mannered reporter from Philly, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, nice meeting you. He's like, oh, nice meeting you. And think nothing of it. We get on the air, and I was like, hell yeah. I was like, that guy this is not Stephen A. Smith at the time to the world.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like he's on this show and he's with me, and I'm like, oh, he is going. And you know what I took from it? I was like, oh, this is a game. Like, this is for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he turned it on. Like when I walk into the stadium, you know how it is, and the cameras are showing you, is he got on Gucci today?
Yeah,
or Prada?
yeah.
I'm chilling. When I get out that locker room and on that field, roar.
Yeah, you're a beast.
And I was like, I remember that moment vividly. So I can't
Gotcha.
now tell that person to turn that off
Right.
when they got them 19 All-Pros and big contracts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's how Ray Lewis was going to do that dance no matter if
Yep.
it was a preseason game
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
So when you look at a guy like what's going on with, like, let's say the Pittsburgh Steelers with the Le'Veon Bell situation and now the Antonio Brown situation.
Do you guys get excited to talk about that stuff, or is it
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I
like
mean,
when there's something that is a big juicy story? Like,
as long as it has more sociological elements.
Yeah.
I love what, like you said, juicy. Like if we're bringing real life into sports, perfect for me. When it's just sports, 3rd and goal, like corny shit, like I don't care.
Yeah.
I hate when we do which team's gonna win. I'm like,
oh boy.
what? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. One,
Yeah.
I have not talked to every player. If I did, they don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like we're just having a song and dance. I like it when it's a real
Yeah.
life element built in the story.
So when you when you were playing, were there guys like an Antonio Brown or a
Or an
Terrell
Earl
Owens
Thomas?
or a Odell Beckham where they would come in the locker room and you're like, oh, this motherfucker.
On my team. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I played against all those guys, T.O. and them boys. Woo. On my team, Buffalo, no. You knew that Bruce Smith was like a big deal.
Yeah.
You knew Thurman Thompson. You knew they were big deals, but they were cool. In part because they're in Buffalo. Like Buffalo puts you in a place where
We've been there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Buffalo is like, you're a Buffalo Bill. Football's one, but you're not getting the extras that, like when I was a Dallas Cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
You got all the extras,
Oh, really?
you know, all the sauce that comes from being an NFL player to the extreme.
Yeah.
So I think Buffalo is more on the lower end in terms of all the extras.
Right.
And Dallas gets you get too many and too
Yeah.
much of it. So on my team, I'm trying to think through the team. Who was the divas? I played with Junior Seau, Drew Brees, LTs. Like I played with Walter Payton, Men of the Year. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Good-
not
good
playing
guys.
with like bums. Dallas. Keyshawn's one.
Yeah.
That's my
Okay.
boy, but I knew him from Hello, so I knew he was a hard to
Yeah,
deal
Is
with.
it always the wide receivers?
If you had to blindly guess, yes. But there's some running backs too, Le'Veon Bell. There's some
Okay.
other guys like that. But no other divas really.
Can a guy like that really break up a locker room?
We had the greatest controversy, civil war, I think, in NFL history in terms of breaking up a locker room when it was Rob Johnson versus Doug Flutie. They on the cover, I think, of SI, like Civil War.
Oh, he was on the cover of Highlights. He was so popular. Yeah. Remember that in the dentist's office? Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway, there was like, how many Doug Flutie heads can you find in this garden? Anyway.
Man,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
So break up a locker room, I don't see it.
It's a rarity now, yeah, to have a true, like people just go, it's a business, so people just go.
Yeah, like we all get it. Like it's funny how scandal for anybody, but even in the sports world, is always bigger on the outside than it is in your world. Think about it. When people hate me, or it happens on Twitter, somebody says something crazy. If I respond, oh, big fan. Okay.
Yeah.
I see a dude, it's happened twice. I've seen a dude in public that I recognize that talks shit on Twitter or something. And he's like, oh, can we take a picture? Like, everything in your face is not scandal, even when you're going through it.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, people still cheer for you. People still love
Yeah.
you. People still care about you. So when you're going through hell, it's bigger out there than it is in there.
Right.
So I don't see it really tearing apart to me in locker rooms.
So you think that the media just kind of blows it up because they have that 24-hour news cycle? They want that story to talk about, and maybe guys are annoyed at a certain player, but not like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I don't go too far with the media does things. You know why? Because I've worked so many different places that this is what happens. I'm at ESPN. We do it on one show. I'm at ESPN. I have another show I'm doing. Okay, we do it there. And then now I'm at Fox. Oh, they're going to do it. Oh, you go look at TNT. They're going to. And then it looks like everyone's in cahoots to blow some shit up. But in reality, no, I'm just doing my part. You're doing your part. We're all just spitting the same verse. So now it's a loud chorus. But it's all individuals kind of collectively sharing something, but in reality, I don't think there's a collective malintent. They just stories get big because LeBron sneezes, the world's gonna say bless you. You know what I mean? Like the world, like everybody's gonna say I have to say bless you. But if everyone says bless you at the same time, whoa! But it's really just you. Go to a game. You ever go to a game and you're like, when you're on the field, you hear only this. This is amazing. Or boo. Yeah. But when you're in the stands, you hear motherfucker. Yeah. Hey, God. Hey, man, give me that. Hey, popcorn. And it's crazy up there. And I love going to the games and sitting in the stands.
You do, yeah.
Because I'm like, oh man, they are MFing people.
That's where the true creatures of the world come out, man.
Right. But on the field,
can you hear that shit on the field?
I mean, the guys with the good seats, like here or there.
Yeah.
You know, but reality, it usually is filtered to just or boo. Yeah. But then you get up there, you get all the details.
What did you think about Earl Thomas and my Hawks when all that was going down? Because I feel like that was a pretty that was a real specific way that was all going down, where it was like him and Pete came to this understanding where he was like, I'm going to sit out practice, but then I think he had 4 picks in the first 3 games. And Pete obviously just playing into his whole let everybody be themselves, and that is and obviously the whole season went way better than we thought, so that's a whole thing in itself. But ultimately, and then when he flicks off the set, how did you as a player understanding, because a lot of players came to his side and were and even I was like, dude, I get your money, even though we paid you twice. And, I get that they didn't want to pay him more, but, also maybe lock him down because he is great, but then they are turning it over,
Yeah, I'm all over the place with that in part because I respect a player, what he wants to do. So if he wants to take the chance and roll the dice, I'm with you. If you want to be the guy who's like, nah, man, I'm sitting out, I'm with you as well. I love Pete Carroll for this. He gives his players emotional latitude. You can be quiet as hell on that team, and he still respects you. You could be corny as hell, and he respects you. You could be loud as hell, and he still respects you. They've had the spectrum. They've had Earl Thomas to Russell Wilson to Richard Sherman
to beast mode.
And to beast mode.
It doesn't get any more on one team. Are you kidding me?
And he let it all roll. He let it all happen. So the Earl Thomas situation is sad because it's a damning reminder of how fickle the game of football is. Yeah. And
1 second.
It really touched me because I didn't have catastrophic injuries that was that moment. It accumulated. I had injuries, but it robs you. And that's what I don't like about the game of football, how fickle it was. You could be in love, and there were days, weeks, months, years, 6-pack, perfect shape, every workout. Oh, I'm bench pressing 500, squatting 700. And, you got to rehab for 9 months. See you next year. And then you're like, to climb that hill again, and no one feels sorry for you, and you don't feel sorry for yourself because you're going to climb it. But that's what I hated about football. It was so fickle. Whereas other sports, you have more guarantees in terms of contract and more guarantees in terms of injury. Very few guys get the same level of injury outside of the game of football as they do in it.
So your son comes to you and says he wants to play football.
How old is he?
7.
52.
No, not at 7.
No.
Not at 10.
No way.
Not at 13, 14. If he's a high school freshman and he sits down and he's like, Dad, I want the pure dope. Good, bad, and ugly about football. And I'm going to tell him all that, and then I want to hear from him his level of commitment and what's his goal with it. If he's doing it for recreational purposes or just to be on a team or a hobby, no. You ain't playing football just to be chilling and you're a senior and you're just like, that was fun. Fuck that. I'm going to overstep my bounds and say, you don't want 2 dislocated fingers to just go into your freshman year of college saying, hey, football was fun. Football has to be fun. You have to have a deeper, greater goal. If he has that, even if he doesn't achieve it, I don't care about that. It's just you got to be committed to this game because it's gonna get a pound of flesh out of you.
Yeah.
Even in high school, you sitting in high school, and I remember times I'd be sitting in high school talking to a girl like, yeah. She's like, can I see your paper when you're done? Yeah, sure. She's like, ugh. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Oh, you bleeding? I'm like, oh damn. Elbow leaking on the damn table. I don't want my son going through that, and he's just doing it so he could be cute to 3 cheerleaders. Nah. If you find a different way up the mountain, if that's not for you and you're not trying to hit the summit.
Draft day. We just tell us real quick like what that was like in comparison to like other great highlights in your life. Like that.
Draft day.
Is it as big as everyone makes it out to be?
No, everyone makes it more than it is.
Okay.
Unless you're the number 1 overall pick, like Keyshawn and them shits. Like before they even the broadcast, they even did the credits, intros, and I'm picked. No. It's a long day. It's a long process, full of anxiety, and your world doesn't change because you don't get paid that day. Your world doesn't change because they don't direct deposit. You don't even have a contract.
Yeah.
But the world changes around you. All your friends, family, homies. I went to the mall. I had a track suit that I was wearing to this party, a draft party, and I forgot my headband. So I went in the morning, got my suit, I'm ready, and the guy who sold it to me was like, "Oh, I heard today you're getting drafted. Good luck."
Yeah.
Like, good luck. And I'm like, all right. I came back after I got drafted looking for the headband that I forgot. He's like, I heard you got drafted. Oh, my God. Can you just take these pictures? Everybody in the store bum rushed me. And then the craziest part about that was how perceptions of you change.
Yeah.
4 hours ago, whatever it was, I was here and y'all ain't tripping. And now I'm somebody to you. So the only thing about draft day is a little interesting is how the world changes immediately and instantly.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Did you get the people hitting you up immediately trying to get into that inner circle, trying to get money, trying to get hookups, investments, things like that?
Yeah, all day. You know, it's easy.
You good for 5 more, by the way?
Yeah, and then I gotta go. I gotta go to the movies. My wife about to.
Oh snap! What are you guys gonna hit?
Glass. Yeah, Glass.
Yeah. Okay, there you
seen
go.
it?
No, not yet, but it's on the list. That was gonna be one of my questions. Is how does Marcellus Wiley chill?
Yeah.
What's your you got guilty pleasure shows?
Yes.
You and your wife,
Yes.
You watched Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club yet?
No, I haven't heard of that.
Wow.
It's good.
After you watched the Fire documentary, which you probably watched.
The Fire
documentary.
About the Firefest?
Firefest, Ja Rule, and this
Oh,
rich
yeah,
white
that's
kid.
what it's called? Oh, yeah, I gotta see
put that in your queue.
Oh, yeah, that's on my queue.
Yeah, I just watched the Ted Bundy shit, which is bonkers. But
yeah.
like, what do you when you guys are? What are your shows for you, and then you and the wife?
She just fell in love with the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
Like, they got 2 episodes out of me, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not big into like anything that's not just documentary, nonfiction, hardcore. When you start taking me into other worlds or post-apocalyptic,
Dude,
I'm
Game
like,
of Thrones?
Hell no.
Fuck no.
No.
Dude, I knew we were friends
No.
when I first
right.
met you.
I don't need no dragons around me. Like, go down to Figueroa. There's some dragons. Go no fake world. Oh, there's dragons. No,
Dude,
it ain't.
I love that I am. I mean, it's.
I'm good.
I tried to watch one, and I was just like,
Yeah, I can't do that. Lord of the Rings, all
Harry
that shit.
Potter, dude.
No, none of them.
Fucking go
none
to
of
college,
that.
Harry.
I'm not
Like,
looking
quit
for a
flying
ring
around.
and sorcerers. No,
dude.
No, where the real people at? Where
Yeah.
Doughboy at?
Thank
Where
you.
Kane? You know what I'm saying?
Where Doughboy
Where
at?
Bishop at? Like, give me some. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I get that.
That's
So-
going to be the name of my book, Where Doughboy At. That's
so dope.
great.
So yeah, guilty pleasures. I guess we always try to find a series. We loved Bird Box. Was that called?
Bird Box, yeah.
Bird Box.
Bird Box,
That was
yeah,
amazing. I like to hydrate at home. Simple hydration, 2 or 3, some whiskey. The wife, she loves her Malibu and pineapple. She's so ghetto. And I'm just like, can you? And she's from Canada. That's so bougie. That bougie ghetto.
Is that a ghetto drink?
It's
Malibu
look,
and pineapple?
Put it
juice?
this way: go to somewhere nice and say, "Y'all got Malibu?" They're gonna be like, "No, boo." No, we don't. So yeah, it's funny, man. So we are all in on our kids. Once they go down, we just try to find something to watch and me sip on, and that's it.
Good, man. Well, dude, just hearing you on this podcast, you see why you're successful. You see why you're the guy that had the life after football. It seems like you were planning the life after football from the minute you got in football.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? The one thing, and I didn't notice this until like 5 years post-retired, that I wrote this in one of these, I guess, the game day programs, that I wanted to use football to increase my volume for me to tell the world what I was and what I was going through. And it's crazy that this is a blessing. I knew that something was going to be bigger after football, and I didn't know what it was. And my teammates used to clown me. They're like, "Dog, you're retiring too early." Like, I really just tapped out. I was like, I'm done. I'm tired of getting hit. I want to save my body for my family. And they were like, "Man, what you going to do and make this much money and be good at it and blah, blah, blah." I was like, I don't know. but I'm sure that my highlights are in front of me, not behind me. And we got into arguments. But you know what's funny? Football reminded me, because I couldn't fully just show and display my talents because I kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
I was like, something that has to be out there for me that I can fully dedicate to, and it won't be as fickle as football was. So whatever that means, I don't even know if I'm doing it yet, but shit.
You are,
feels
dude.
good. It feels good.
And just to give you a little heads up on Speak for Yourself, you guys are going to have something to talk about in a couple weeks when Brad and I play in the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game.
Oh, my.
And they're
Buckets.
You thought you sucked at basketball? Get ready for this, Marcellus Wiley.
If there's a clip, hopefully that goes viral of me when I call timeout and put on a Baby Bjorn to put Brad around my waist to play some defense. Put it up on the show if you want. Talk about it.
You better text that to me. I thought Zippo was bad. I can't wait till my daddy has to take you somewhere.
Yeah.
He gonna kill you, boy.
Oh, it's going to be great. I'm going to be running under Tracy McGrady's legs all day.
Oh, man. That's
going to happen.
Best. Win MVP. Kevin Hart style. Like, Kevin Hart used to win MVP.
I know, dude. That's what I'm saying.
year.
I've been in touch with the NBA about, like, you know, because we're going to shoot these promo videos with my buddy next week just to really, like, take advantage of, like, being a part of it because it's such a, you know, we're so fired up. But, and they're just like, you know, because I think there's, I mean, giving Dr. Oz, like, an elbow might be.
I might
do that. He'll heal himself right there. In a moment, he'll be like, "That ain't do nothing."
Put some like avocado oil on there. Or some shit, but I'm
Shout
fine.
out to Colombia too.
Yeah, dude. I do. Before we wrap up, I'm gonna do one more thing, but I do want to shout out Michelle Beadle too, because had I not been on Nation and met you that time, when I accosted you in the elevator in New York randomly, that would have been a lot weirder.
Yeah, exactly.
You would have been. I mean, you're so fucking cool and personable. You probably still would have been receptive to a point, but like. That literally was like a crazy.
That was random as hell.
Right?
Yes.
Late night elevator, man, when there's two. I mean, you know, and I'm not a big like elevator small talk person. So
no, me either.
As soon as I looked up and saw you, I was like, all right, like, I don't know if you remember me, but like, and I got to say something now. I can't sit in silence for 20 seconds. That's that fight or flight. So then, but you were cool as shit, man.
You gave me the elevator pitch. And I was like, man, I know you. Nah, don't be acting like that. What's up, boy? But, you know, especially in New York, that's a city where you, right here, brother.
I know, dude. And you were doing it, man. You were looking at you were watching those buttons being like, this fucking white boy better not talk to me, man. I can see him just sizing me up.
Hell yeah, I see him. These ain't Gucci.
Can we do a quick, like a rapid fire, like just more, you know, just to get a little bit more answers from you on certain.
Oh, we got a soundtrack too.
Right.
Is this Shazam? Jamie Foxx about to pop out?
You know what? I actually went to guitar instrumentals and it says James Shannon guitar covers. This is fucking some bullshit, but it's Kill Me Softly with his song James Shannon. All right, here we go, Marcellus. Your favorite stadium to play in?
Arrowhead.
Dope.
Loudest stadium too. It was so sweet. Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stadium also hasn't been refurbished at all.
No,
right?
that thing is pure dope. Like straight old original
If
cocaine.
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Red shirts, barbecue, and cheese. Loudest place I ever played in.
For real?
Yeah, they handed out asprin when we were playing during the game. They was like, y'all gonna need this.
No way.
Real talk. Yeah, loudest stadium ever.
Favorite athlete to watch? Whether you played or even now, you know?
Probably all time. Usain Bolt is up there. I'm a track fanatic, so shoot, man. Quincy Watts, like people are like, who, what? Olympians. Outside of that, I love Patrick Mahomes right now.
He's entertaining.
Man crush on him too.
Yeah,
man. Sure. I saw him the first game. Went to the Chargers game and they played. I came back and said, he's not next. He's now and next. And everyone laughed at me. It was week 1 though, so I get it. Tony Gonzalez was like, can you give him time to breathe and learn to play? All right, Tony. All right, y'all.
How do you think he's gonna be doing with that voice like the whole time? Because, you know, like every time he's in an interview, he's like, you know, Tom Brady, I really respect him.
You're going to be having picnics outside of his house soon,
I got to love it, right? Oh, man, Patrick Mahomes, he's
a beast. And people say he's Russell Wilson 2.0, but I mean, I think he's even doing some shit that
he's
like.
Its own thing. Russell Wilson never did no-look passes.
This is Mahomes 1.0, bro.
That was
ain't no 2.0.
Like left-handed shit, like
he
offhand.
is everything. He's going to smash every
You think
record.
he's going to? Yeah, he is, right?
Done.
Just stay healthy.
Yeah, done.
I guess we addressed this, but favorite food on the road?
Tacos.
Yeah.
At home and the road. I just had 3 tacos on the way here.
Fuck
What do you call it? Barbacoa or something like that?
Sure.
That's that rich meat. I was like, that's like that's extra salty ground chicken where I'm from. And they talking about barbacoa. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Guilty pleasure show we did. Your drink after a great show on air or even great game? Like, how would you, if there was something you were like, man, I'm going to treat myself?
Yeah, even if I had a bad game, bad show, still going to have that drink. It's going to be my favorite drink, tequila rolls. People are like, it's basically tequila and strawberry milk, but
wait a minute, what? I'm a tequila connoisseur. I've never heard of that shit.
Oh, yeah, tequila roll. You got to make
Nesquik strawberry milk?
Next time you go to USC, go east. Stop coming west every time. Stop being scared. Tequila rolls, no, it's everywhere. It's really good. It's really good.
Done and done.
Try that.
The weirdest topic you've ever been asked to discuss on a show?
Weirdest?
Or that you guys have, it's covered because you almost had to because it was in the news so hard.
I mean, you talked Tebow before. That may have been.
Man, you better stop. I love Tebow. That's my guy.
I have his jersey in my car. No bullshit.
Dude, you know how there are a few people like Muhammad Ali when he walks in the room. Michael Jackson. I met both of those guys.
Shut up.
Like there's energy changers. Like I'm Michael Jordan for a lot of people. Not necessarily me, but he's great.
Yeah.
Tell you, Tebow walk in the room. I've seen it. Tebow walked into the Super Bowl one time. It's Super Bowl, but still Madonna was there. Everybody was like, Madonna. Tebow came. People said, bye, Madonna. Tebow. Like, Tebow is a next level energy changer. So I just love him.
Wow. I have one question. Yes. Biggest trash talker you played against?
Oh, great question.
John Randall back in the days.
John Randall. With the face paint.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Real talk. He had the wolf tickets. And he was the wolf. Like, he was like, I'm selling y'all some of this dope that I'm about to go give you. He was amazing. I love that dude. I would say him. He's the one.
John Randall.
Yeah.
Sport you would have played other than football?
Track, I hope, but I'm about 200 pounds over that. But I'm telling you, I'm not a great athlete. As a footballer,
they did the big 3-on-3 retired player. They can do that for track.
I can do the big. I don't need the other 2 or 3. I can do the big.
Ping pong or tennis?
What do you call it?
Table tennis.
Table tennis?
Yeah.
Oh, ping pong. Stop playing.
Pool or darts?
Damn, where were we in? Kansas, mother? I used to laugh about even Buffalo people playing pool and darts and eating wings. I'm like, this some country shit. Like who goes somewhere and I'm going out to play darts and eat wings? Like, that's nasty. That's nasty.
Right,
I'm not that small town, but pool or darts? Pool.
Yeah. Hugs or high fives? With some of you've
hugs.
Yeah.
I don't like high fives.
Yeah.
My shoulder messed up. I had surgery. Hug me.
And you mentioned your parties earlier. You still having them?
Nah. Well, yeah. Look, Super Bowl party at Jalapeno Pete's. Come by.
Yeah.
It's not the same, and that's why I'm losing population.
Yeah.
Like my RSVPs are less.
You're starting to get emails from people being like, "Yo, you can take me off that list now."
Yeah. You still send from Microsoft Outlook?
So back in the day,
Hotmail was too fancy for you. You gotta go Microsoft Outlook.
Who was, if you can say, like who was the coolest person that was coming to some of those parties that maybe came that you didn't even send an email to that roll with and did Denzel get a +1 and he brought Halle or Barry or some shit?
I have horrible recall, as you noticed when you asked me, what do you and the wife do? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There are many stars who have been to my parties.
That's dope.
God, who's the biggest? Like Denzel's cool. I've hung and smoked cigars with Denzel before.
Hey, all right, that wins.
Yeah. And Denzel told me he's a big fan, which is crazy because I know he doesn't bullshit. So I'm like, you're really saying this, and we just talked 3-4 hours one night. Just talking all sports. He's big sports. Huge.
Massive.
When I first seen him going on shows, I was like, I fucking love, because you just have no idea, because he also doesn't do a ton of press, but when he would go on his shows,
and then I saw him out. So then it's that weird thing, your second date.
Yeah.
I'm like, how cool was the first date? So I'm like,
good?
wait. So I'm like walking by and I'm like, okay, everyone wants to speak to me. Hi, y'all, but I want to see if Denzel wants to speak to me again.
Yeah.
Like, I would have went up to him like, hey, Denzel, remember me? We had cigars, but he was just like, Marcellus, what's up? I'm like,
my
I'm 2 for 2 with Denzel, so that's my dog.
There you go.
Yeah.
What, dude? Smoking cigars with Denzel is the coolest shit ever.
And I don't even like cigars like that, but I was like,
dude. Sometimes you got to.
How you get into this club?
Oh yeah,
do it. Hey, Snoop Dogg comes in and says, "Hey, you want some weed?" The answer is yes. Don't care.
It is legal.
Yeah,
it is.
So you're
legal.
fine.
Dude, I got off stage at the Improv one night, and Paul McCartney was there, and he tapped me, and he goes, Sir Paul, and he sits down, and he was like, "Oh, great stage." He's like, "You want to have a drink?" And I was like, "Yeah. What do we?" I was like, yeah, I'll drink anything. I'll do anything to you. Like, what's going on? I'm very vulnerable right now, you know?
Yeah.
And he goes, I go, what are we drinking? He goes, let's get margaritas. I'm not a margarita guy. And I was like, of course. I was like, he literally could have said, let's drink our own piss. I would have been like, fuck yeah, dude. You're a Beatle. Like, I'm in your world right now. Yeah.
I saw how much your divorce was. Yeah, okay. Anything to get in, Paul. Anything.
Dude, thanks for making time. I hope you had a good time. This was unbelievable,
This was
dude.
amazing.
And
Once again, the book.
yeah.
Yeah.
Never Shut Up. Go get it. You're fucking, dude, probably the first of many books, yeah? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I want to do a child version now of like.
You do, right?
Yeah, something inspirational for the kids. There's a little profane language in there. I kept it 100. I want to do something to inspire the kids out there, the fork in the road kids, to do better in their choices in their life. So somehow make it for the younger generation to get them pumped up.
Just call it "Don't Hang Out with Doughboy."
Don't do what Doughboy did.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Oh, wait, real quick. Super Bowl pick.
Oh shit!
You don't have to get into it, but just.
Yeah. I say Belichick and the Patriots.
God
the
damn.
wrinkle. He's going to throw a wrinkle, and you're like, is that one D lineman and 9 linebackers?
Every
You're
time
just not going to know what the hell to do with
every
it.
time you think they're dead, they come back.
Yep, that's
sucks.
it.
They're like the Air Bud franchise. Right? You're like, they can't do another one. Badminton?
Yes. Here we go. Don't get me
what's up?
divorced. I got to go. My wife's like, where's this movie?
Thanks, man.
Oh, appreciate you.
It's about last night.